What happened when Chewie tried to snipe Darth Vader? On the Imperial planet of Cymoon 1, home to one of the largest weapons manufacturing facilities in the galaxy, Chewbacca and Darth Vader faced off. Who won? Well, let's rewind a bit and see how the whole thing started. Following the destruction of the first Death Star, Luke, Leah, Han, and Chewie continued fighting for the rebellion. The group cycled from mission to mission, liberating tribes, sabotaging communications, and bringing the Empire one step closer to destruction. Not so long after the events of A New Hope, Chewie and his friends arrived on a planet of Cymoon 1, planning to cripple the Imperial's weapons manufacturing abilities by destroying its main assembly plant. While Luke, Han, and Leia pretended to be emissaries of Jabba the Hutt and win the trust of the local Imperial commander, Chewie stayed behind to protect the ship. While Chewie waited idly for his comrades to return from their operations, hours passed without much action. Fearing this would be another safe but boring affair, Chewie grew a bit restless, until, suddenly, the familiar triangle shape of an Imperial shuttle broke through the clouds and descended onto the planet's surface. After it touched down, its landing ramp extended, and long black boots strided down. Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, descended the ramp, and from the factory an Imperial convoy was sent to greet him, and so was Chewie. Realizing that he needed to keep a close eye on the shuttle, Chewbacca settled in at a tower not too far away, with his bowcaster and long-range sight ready for whatever came his way. He wasn't expecting the second most powerful Force user in the galaxy to appear, but Chewbacca was a veteran of the Clone Wars and a brave leader. He wouldn't back down, and he had a clear line of sight. He could cripple the Empire with a single well-placed bolt to the back of Darth Vader's black helmet. But he needed to get confirmation from his team. When he radioed in to Han, Luke, and Leia, who were still inside the factory, the group of rebels fought over what to do. Han wanted Chewie not to take the shot, as that would all but guarantee that they wouldn't be able to escape the manufacturing planet. Vader's death would send Imperial troops swarming, and any rebel saboteurs, Han and his friends including, would likely be captured or more likely killed in the mayhem. But when Leia got a hold of her transmitter, she commanded Chewie to shoot. She, more than anyone, was able to sacrifice for the rebellion. She had already lost her family and her entire planet when Grand Moff Tarkin ordered the Death Star to fire on her home planet of Alderaan. She would do anything to make sure that the Empire couldn't do that again, even if it meant sacrificing her life, or the lives of her friends. The bolt launched from Chewie's caster, and it soared faster than sound towards Darth Vader. If there was any luck on his side, he thought that this could be the day Vader's reign of terror would end. But in a blur, a bright red lightsaber ignited, and Darth Vader's arm reached back to deflect the shot. Chewie knew his cover was blown, so he squeezed his massive hands around the trigger and unloaded his entire magazine at the landing platform. Darth Vader used the Force to lift two stormtroopers into the path of fire, and used them to shield himself. He cast them aside, stared coldly at Chewbacca in the tower where he perched, and summoned the dark side of the Force to pull it down. The entire structure, tons of steel, crashed onto the planet's surface, and Chewbacca jumped into the debris below. Darth Vader looked towards the Wookiee. It wasn't worth his time. He ordered a pair of stormtroopers to finish Chewbacca off. Vader had something more important on his mind. He sensed something, a disturbance. The same pilot who had destroyed the Death Star was somewhere inside the weapons manufacturing facility, and he was going to find him. Chewie, a noble warrior and powerful Wookiee, was worth less than 10 seconds in Vader's mind. Always a fan of a challenge, Vader would have happily gone to the rubble, searched for Chewie, and engaged the Wookiee in further battle had he deemed the rebel worthy, but he didn't. In the short interaction, not only was Vader easily able to deflect the surprise attack, he was able to almost certainly cripple Chewbacca with a simple gesture. Had Chewie confronted Vader in close quarters, where his Wookiee strength, famous for ripping arms from droids, could have been an asset, perhaps this fight would have gone differently. But unfortunately for Chewie, his ability with a long-range blaster was no match for Vader's mastery of the dark side.